am not saying Bronny James is the best player in his draft class, but I believe everybody that is hating on him are getting exposed. And what are they getting exposed for? I guess that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Before we get too far, I'm going to tell you something about myself. I'm wearing a LeBron shirt. A lot of people are probably going to assume, oh, he's just a LeBron fan. No, I'm a Lakers fan. There's a difference, trust me, because when LeBron James went to the Heat 2011, I hated him. I was a LeBron hater. As a kid, bro, I used to sit up on Instagram and just reply to anybody talking about LeBron James, and I would just rebuttal with Kobe. And to this day, I still believe and I know that Kobe is better and was better than LeBron James. But just because I'm a Kobe fan and Lakers fan don't mean I can't be a LeBron fan too. And maybe that's just one thing I want everybody watching this video to know. It's never too late to realize that hate is unnecessary. I think most of the people hating just doing it to troll people, because I'm not gonna lie, I do that at times too, because it's fun getting reactions out of people. But I believe that there are some people that genuinely hate LeBron James, genuinely don't like Bronny James. My question is, how can you not like Bronny James, bro? He is 19 years old. He was born in 2004, and there are grown men hating on him. That's just weird to me alone. But now we got to talk about the fact that he is a second round draft pick in the NBA. When in the last decade have we ever been critical of a second round pick in the NBA? A second round pick in the NBA is equivalent to a 5th to 7th round pick in the NFL draft. Second round picks, we all know, are project picks. Why are people so pressed over Bronny getting drafted? That's my big thing. And I want to get to the root of it, because I truly believe a lot of it is because people do not like LeBron James, so therefore they're just hating on Le Sperm. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a deeper dive at every reason why people could be hating on Bronny. Number one, nepotism. A lot of people just want to say it's unfair. Who's it unfair to? Well, to me, I don't know. But people are saying it's unfair to the people who should have got drafted above him. It's unfair because there are other players that deserve that spot that Bronny's in, which, by the way, is a second round draft pick. Most likely gonna be part of the G League team, which every second round pick is. And by the way, you could get on a G League team, you could get undrafted the same way as a second round pick gets drafted. It's the same thing. A second round pick and going undrafted are damn near the same in the NBA. Now you could say, oh, you messed up somebody's lifelong dream of getting drafted. Well, his lifelong dream was getting drafted, so let's just be grateful that he got drafted. Because getting drafted in the second round of the NBA draft, let's be honest, I'm not gonna say it's not that big of a deal, but anybody that went undrafted could have got drafted in the second round, and anybody that got drafted in the second round could have went undrafted. And the people who are arguing that's just weird, because we've never argued that in the last decade of second round draft selections. For example, Austin Reeves literally turned down getting drafted, which you're allowed to do in the second round. You're allowed to tell a team, I don't want to go sign with you. Like, a team could be like, I'm going to draft you, and you could say, no, I want to be an undrafted rookie. And that's what Austin Reeves chose to do, because some people don't care about getting drafted in the second round, especially if they know they have the talent, which is the whole argument here. Is some people have more talent than Bronny and they're not getting drafted in the second round. Well, they're going undrafted then. Either way, if you're talented enough, you will make it to the NBA somehow. You may not get drafted, but Bronny gets drafted. Okay, it was literally his dream to get drafted, and he did it. That's cool. Now, if you're hating on that just tells me what type of person you are. You choose to see the negative side of everything in life, because at this point, there's no reason to hate on that. I've seen some people saying there's some people averaging 20 points a game in college and they're not getting drafted. Well, they might be going undrafted, and they're definitely getting on a practice team. They're definitely getting on a G League team. They're definitely getting on a summer league roster, and then it's their chance to show out too. Which brings us to number two, which simply is money. A lot of people are mad because Bronny gets a contract as a second round pick. And now I can see why people would get mad over this one. This one makes a little bit more sense than the other prior ones I was talking about. But let's really think about this. The NBA, the reason we get to watch basketball The reason that these players get paid millions of dollars is because it's an entertainment business. Now let's talk about the business side of basketball. And we could talk about money too. And now this is a fact. Oftentimes the hardest working people in the world make the least amount of money. You could say it's not fair. Maybe it's not. Money goes to whoever can provide the most value. Most of the time, in this case in sports, the people who make the most money are making the most money because they provide the most value to their team in terms of helping them win. I don't think Bronny is in that category, which is why some people might be mad. I think the reason Bronny is making so much money is because he provides value to the entertainment side of basketball. Now let me explain. Like I said, the NBA is an entertainment business. That's the reason we get to watch sports, because they get money revenue from ticket sales, from viewership, from sponsorships, all that stuff. Bronny helps them in that category. He provides value to the NBA. He might not provide that much value to the Lakers, but he provides a lot of value to the NBA. And he also provides value to LeBron fans. So that's another part of the NBA. But he becomes the first player, son, in NBA history to be able to play with his dad. That's a lot of value. And you're going to get paid for that because you're providing value. Money is value. It's just simple business. It's just how money works. You could be mad at the way money works because sometimes it isn't fair, let's be honest. But that's the way money works. Money goes to the people who provide the most value. Bronny is providing value for the NBA. Summer League was going to be dead this year. Last year we had Wemby. It was crazy last season. I hit up everybody I know and said, are you going to Summer League this year? Nah. Number one, because the heat is crazy in Vegas. But number two, this draft class wasn't that exciting, which is why teams are trading their picks this year so they could get next year's draft class, because it's better than this one. And that's not to disrespect this year's draft class, because I think there were some great players in it. But the Summer League was going to be dead until Bronny was in it. The reason everybody showed up on day one in Vegas is because Bronny was playing. And I was there, so I could tell you that's how it was, because the atmosphere, whenever his name was called versus anybody else, I don't even care if it was Reed Shepherd, it was crazy. Now people could be mad at that, but that's just value. He's providing entertainment. That's what he's getting paid for. Now you could be mad at the fact that athletes are getting paid for entertainment rather than skills, but you can't get mad at the player themselves. Hate the game, not the player. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And that's the case with Bronny, because so many people getting mad at Bronny for something that he didn't even do. The expectations that people have for Bronny are out of this world. And maybe it's just because his dad is LeBron James, and maybe we had the same expectations with Marcus Jordan because he was MJ's son, but I don't think it's fair to think that a legend's son is going to be just as good as them. LeBron James is generational talent. Okay. Also, Bronny is 6'2". He's a little bit limited, but people's expectations for Bronny are way too high. In my opinion, this is how it should be. Our expectations of Bronny should be just like any other second round pick in the league. When do we ever have high expectations for a second round pick? All these second round picks that are playing in the Summer League are doing the exact same thing as Bronny right now. None of them are, showing out. They're maybe scoring 3 points, getting like 3 shots because they're a second round pick. Just because he is LeBron James' son and he provides entertainment to the people and helps the league advance and grow doesn't mean his expectations are going to rise because of the value he provides. His expectations basketball-wise are still a second round pick, which is why I think it's so weird that channels like Awful Coaching are making entire videos trying to hate on his, not even hate, because I don't think, objective criticism is a bad thing in sports, because I do it all the time and you guys know I do. People think I'm hating when I'm really just being critical, but I'm being critical of people whose expectations are legitimate. They're first round picks, they're NBA All-Stars, okay? Bronny's a second round pick. You do not see anybody else coming up with tape with these other second round picks trying to pick things out of their game. Nobody does that because nobody expects a second round pick, and nobody should expect a second round pick to be the star of a team or to make the starting lineup These guys would be lucky to sit on the bench for the entire season. As a second round pick in the NBA, you're not supposed to start. Now, there are a couple exceptions like, Manu Ginobili, Fred VanVleet, Isaiah Thomas, but nobody expected them to be this good in the second round. Second round picks have a certain expectation that goes along with them, and all I'm saying is Bronny should be with that second round pick despite the money he's making, because the money he's making has nothing to do with his skills on the court. And people could be mad at that. That I can understand. But that's just the way it is. That's the way money works. The people that work the hardest, physically demanding jobs. I worked at UPS warehouses, 120 degrees in the trailer. I worked Amazon driving jobs, 12-hour days, 6 days a week. We didn't make any money compared to the managers who just sitting there watching us. And you could be mad at that. But that's the way money works. Money goes to the people who provide the most value for their company, their audience, whatever. And Bronny is providing value to the NBA without using his skills, just his name alone, because he is making history being the first son to play with his dad in the league. And the people who are hating at that can just admit, and it's not bad, I don't think, that you don't like the entertainment side of the NBA. You prefer the basketball side of the NBA, which I do too. I do too. But like I said, don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't know. Let me know any more thoughts and opinions about Bronny down below in the comments. Final thoughts, my conclusion is he should have the expectations on the floor of a second round player. His money that he's making has nothing to do with the expectations that we set for him. Meaning, because he's making $8 million in 4 years and he's got a contract at a second round pick, which most players don't get, that shouldn't change our expectations of what we see on the floor. We have to understand the money is coming from the value that he is giving the NBA in terms of entertainment, which is why you are seeing so much hype on social media platforms. And you can get annoyed of it, but you have to understand he is selling tickets. And that is why he's making money, because he's making the NBA money without even playing. He could be injured. He could be sitting on the bench and he could still be making the NBA money because of the value he creates. And people could say that's not fair. Okay, but don't hate Bronny. Hate the business aspect of it. Please. Man, let me know how you guys are feeling.